Okay guys, today we are going to be making moveset. So the moveset I'm going to be doing is hacker because it sounds cool, I guess. So so after we get the billboard texture, we paste into here, and now we should have it, but I saw it was kind of small. So the way we make it look cool is we edit this stuff, which makes the properties a bit different. For example, opacity, if you set it to 1, it's completely invisible. If you set it to something like 0.7, it's slightly visible. But more complicated is the alt ones. Basically, what the alt ones do is after a while they apply the effects. So for example, if I set it to 1, after a while it disappears. Or vice versa, you can set opacity to 1, but alt opacity to 0, and it will slowly appear. So that's how people make cool stuff like wind effects. So what we want to do is set the position.
Wait, 0.55.
Want to know something crazy?
Get a mesh.
You want to know something crazy, Isaac? Isaac, you want to? I don't care.
I'm not talking to you. Maybe too much.
-5. You might be wondering, how do I make it so if you do the things, it will activate the uppercut? We'll explain that once we get to it. So first, what we want to do is add a melee. This is the first melee, so we'll name it number 1. So number 1, we want to add an animation. Now animations are really important because if you don't have an animation on a move, so if you don't have an animation on a move, then it will look really lame and it'll look kind of weird because your character is moving forward or hitting someone without actually throwing a punch. So let's find an animation that will correctly do our first M1. So with the animation, you want the wind up to be somewhere near 0.2. So let's slow it down a bit with the speed trigger. What this will do is whatever you set it to, it'll either go slower, faster. If you set it as a decimal, for example 0.8, it'll go slower. Set it to, let's say 2, it'll go slightly faster than, let's say 1, which is normal. So what we want to do is make it so the punch gets thrown at 0.2. So after we got that, let's add a hitbox. Now hitboxes, this is the most important part of your thing. This if you don't have this is like making a taco without the tortilla. You can't make a taco without a tortilla, right? So what you want to do is, I think most of the M1 damage in the game is like 3, so let's just set it for 3 for now. No VFX for right now, but let's just test out if the first M1 even works. Now let's test it out. As you can see, the animation, the punch gets thrown at 0.2.
Whoa, hey.
But it gets stopped. Now you may ask, why does it get stopped when the hitbox appears? Now, this isn't a problem with the hitbox. This is actually a problem with the move stopping. You see, animations are a bit wonky. They stop either when the animation ends, if you don't have the loop property on, which, hold on, give me a sec. If you don't have this on, the animation will end when the actual animation ends. Pretty obvious, right? Now, a second way an animation might end is if it gets interrupted by another animation. For example, if I were to add this one would be canceled. But if the move ends, the animation also gets canceled. So let's just add a simple wait trigger so that the move doesn't end and the animation can be complete. Now let's see how the animation looks now. As you can see, it gets complete. Boom. So what we want to do next is add the effects. So what you want to do is you go into the M1 and you need to go into your browser and find some hit sounds. So now here we can listen to any audio like this. What we want to do is go into sound, and then the ID, you might be a bit confused what this is. The ID is the thing right here. You see this? I'll probably edit it so it zooms in. This number right here is the ID. you can control V that, or if you're on mobile, you just, I don't know. I use Apple, so I don't know for you guys on Android. But alternatively, you can press these 3 dots, copy paste asset, and paste it into the ID section. Now, I think all of this stuff should be pretty self-explanatory. Now, let's see how it looks now, or sounds. Now on the first one, you might notice that it's a bit delayed, and that's because the sound has to preload. So if you ever encounter any problem with the sound being delayed, try using the move again. It's probably just because it wasn't loaded before, so it took a second to load. So character blocks should be on the side right here. So configure, and you find your melee, and what you want to do is you go into visuals, and then you find melee trail. Now this is a really good one for melees. Now let's see which arm throws the punch. Yep, got the right one. So let's set the opacity to 0.6 because you might notice that all the other ones are transparent, and also it looks kind of ugly when it's not transparent. So let's see how it looks now. Looks way better, right? But it's just a generic white one, so why don't we make it green, right? So the way in this game you color your effects is a bit more unique than in any other game. So how this game works is it uses RGB, which stands for red, green, blue. Now red, green, blue, these numbers are represent them. So if I, for example, set red to 100, then these ones are the dominant colors. But if I set them both to 0, it's green because the middle is green, right? There are multiple videos explaining what RGB is if you don't understand it, but let's just make it green. So after we got it green, as you can see, melee trail is green now. Now, we have our first M1. Now you might be saying, wow, it must take a while to complete all 4 M1s, right? And I say to that, yes, but we have sort of a big advantage. So, let me teach you the best thing I discovered while making M1s. If you literally just press this scissors button, you can copy and paste it. All of the normal ones down. Let's get to the 4th one. Now, the normal 4th one is normal. Shocker, right? After we're done with this one, oh my gosh, wait. Hold up. Forgot to make it so on this one, the melee trail's on the leg. Okay, now that we have that down, let's see. We gotta get an animation. Have this one done. The 4th M1 actually has something kind of unique. It applies ragdoll, which also sends them forward, but ragdolls them. That means they're on the ground and they can't do anything. But the downside for them being on the ground is that most moves in the game can't hit people that are on the ground. First of all, we add the knockback. Now let's test the 4th M1. Okay, 4th M1. I'm kind of out of breath from talking. Oh, so 2 things wrong with what I just did there. I forgot to make it last hit, which basically means if you hit someone in those amount of seconds, it'll get applied to them instead. So I forgot to add that. And also, the middle one is for going up. The last one is for going forward. So I goofed up twice there. Yeah, never doing that again. So now let's test it. So it knocks them back.